Hello. I just uploaded a video on in a trig function what the a value of a in this function and d does. Now remember, d is the vertical line; it moves it up or down, and a is the amplitude. Okay, you can read that on this information that I added to our formulas and resources. Okay, I want to talk now about what b and c does. Okay, now B is kind of tricky because what it does is it compresses horizontally. Let me just uh, slide it and change the value of B. Right here, B is 1. Look what happens when I slide it. See how it kind of compresses it? When the value of B gets greater, the period gets smaller. And when it gets smaller, it's kind of tricky. I've got to make it less positive, but less than 1. Okay, there, now it's like 0. My period is 0.1. Look how long my b is. Look how long my period would be. Okay, now it's tricky to get this without the help of a formula. And the formula is this. You have to understand the period. The period is the distance from the beginning of a function to the end. It's like a wavelength. Right here, you notice my wave is starting. Here, it's ending, and the next one is starting. If I go backwards, see, from there to there is one period, and from there to there is another period. Okay, here's how you find the period. The period in the absence of any b is 2 pi. My formula right there, period is 2 pi, but if there's a b, period is 2 pi over b. So let me just show you a couple of examples here. If right here, period, my b is 1, and my period is 2 pi. Now, if I made my b equal to 2, I would anticipate my period to be 2 pi divided by 2 according to this formula right here. 2 pi divided by 2 is just pi. Okay, so watch this. When I slide b to 2, we'll see that it is that. There it is. Oh, a little tricky. Okay, you notice when my period starts here and it ends there. And my x value is pi. It's kind of tricky to read the x values because they're calling it pi. Well, what is pi? 3.14. Well, look there. It's 1, 2, 3, and then 3.14. That's why this right here, according to the scale, it's 6.28. 5, 6, 6.28. Well, that's 2 pi. So when b equals 2, my period is pi. If my period, let me estimate pi. Let me make my period 3.14. Then my b 3.14, and then my it's approximately 3.14 now. Well, and you notice 2 pi divided by pi is 2, and my period ends right there at 2. From there to 1, 2, that's 1 period. Okay? That's what B does. This is why I miss being in the classroom. I could just go over example after example for a whole hour. Now, the value of C, what C does is it moves the period left and right. As I move C, notice the shape of the graph stays the same. The red one there is just the sine function, but the blue one is the one that's being slid back and forth. So I have it on this for all the information right here, and all the things together make it look different, but it's still a sine function. Okay. This has taken a little bit more time than I was hoping, so I'm going to stop it and work some examples in a moment.